In this discussion board, you will be focusing on responsible and ethical data management as it applies directly to your final assignment and research topic. This discussion is designed to move you beyond abstract ethics and begin thinking concretely about how your own research will be conducted responsibly from start to finish. To do this well, you need to have at least a working understanding of the methodology you are planning to use for your final projects. Ethical data management cannot be discussed in isolation. It depends on how data are collected, what type of data are being collected, and who the research involves. Whether your planned methodology is quantitative, qualitative, mixed methods, or secondary data analysis, your ethical responsibilities will look different. An effective post will make this connection very clearly. In your post, you should identify the key considerations necessary to ensure that your data management plan is comprehensive and ethically sound and grounded in scholarly best practice standards. This includes, but is not limited to, how the data will be recorded and stored, who will have access to the data, how data integrity will be maintained, and how long data will be retained and how they will eventually be disposed of. Strong responses will show that you understand data not just as information, but as something that carries ethical obligations, especially when it involves human participants. A critical component of this discussion is planning how participants' anonymity and confidentiality and privacy will be protected before, during, and after data collection. This means thinking temporarily about prior to data collection, how participants will be informed about the data use, storage, and limits of confidentiality. And during data collection, what safeguards are in place to prevent unauthorized access or identification. And after data collection, how the data will be stored, retained, shared, or destroyed in ways that continue to protect participants. Be sure you clearly distinguish between anonymity and confidentiality and explain which applies to your study and why. This is a doctoral level discussion, so your claims need to be clearly grounded in scholarly literature. You should reference ethical guidelines, methodological texts, or peer-reviewed sources that support your data management decisions. The goal is not to summarize your readings, but to apply ethical principles from literature to your specific research context. A strong discussion post will show good alignment between research methodology and ethical data management decisions, awareness of risks related to how data handling, data handling and participant protection, thoughtful justification for how and why specific safeguards are used, and an understanding that ethical responsibility continues beyond data collection. This discussion is an opportunity to practice thinking like a researcher who is accountable not only for their findings, but for the people behind the data. As you complete this discussion, I encourage you to ask yourself one guiding question. If someone reviewed my data management plan, would it clearly demonstrate respect for participants and adherence to best practices? That mindset will serve you well, not only in this course, but as you move forward in your research.